Not doing that one. It was with a shot. Welcome to another fine episode of the Double BS Podcast with yours truly, the Schmoo, joined always by my bro, my partner, my test beer dummy, Matty Van.
What's happening, everybody?
So, as always, we start each episode with a brand new beer for Matty to try, and I've actually taken it upon myself to try and find something even that I haven't had, so we can drink it together. And this tasty little nugget today, the last one was not. I had high hopes, and I tanked it. So hopefully this one is good. But he
doesn't know me as well as he says he does.
I'm getting there. I'll get there.
But that's the point of the try. You're introducing me to things that I don't know. Therefore, and most of the stuff that you don't know.
Yeah, and you're
giving it a shot. I'm giving it a shot.
Yeah,
and it's a real thing. Most of the time, I tell you, this is great. I loved it. Last week was, don't feed me stuff like that again. Unless you want me to put it in a spray bottle, take it home and wax my wood furniture.
I mean, I do have this Goose Island Bourbon County.
First off, bourbon.
Bourbon stout.
No.
From 2017.
No.
It's ready to go.
Unless you're going to put that with a couple people's eyes and 3 fingers.
Good. So
do that now. No.
This is a new one. I've never heard of this. It just jumped off the shelf today. Hoppin' Frog Brewery. They're out of Akron, Ohio. Birthplace of LeBron James. That's all I know about Akron. I knew one thing about Akron. It was the birthplace of LeBron James. Now I know two things. It's LeBron James and Hoppin' Frog. So this is a cranberry turbo shandy citrus ale. I feel like they're just getting long-winded in some of these names, but cranberry, citrus ale, can't go wrong. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot.
It's Hoppin' Frog, cranberry, turbo, shandy, citrus ale. Does it give you, it doesn't, really.
Ooh. Oh. That's nice.
It doesn't give you anything like a...
No, like a description. No, it doesn't.
So
some of them do, some of them don't.
I see, the cranberries.
Here it is. The refreshing, sweet, and tart flavor of cranberries is captured in this beer. An enjoyable, friendly taste that brings back memories. Cheers.
Here we go with the memories to me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
hopefully a good memory this time.
Yeah.
I'm taking a sip. I like it. It's good. It's nice and clean. It's just kind of a light, fruity beer. Very much a dispatch from the last one we had.
That's pretty tasty.
That's much better than the last one.
Much better. I don't want to wax furniture.
Yeah.
That kind of tastes like an remember not an orange, of course, but you remember like the Shasta Pops.
Yeah.
Like grape. A little bit of an alcohol flavor.
That and I don't remember what it was. That one we had that I called you and you picked out. It was like the cranberries and orange.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of that.
Yeah. This is lighter. And I'm a light beer drinker, you know that.
I mean, this is a 7% alcohol. This is not a light beer, but it's very, very light.
See if I can get an Uber home.
Right. So, all right, guys. So this week we're going to talk about something that is
near and dear to everybody's heart.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this podcast, you're right on board. We're going to talk about social media, and we don't really have per se a roadmap. Not that it really matters because we're really good at taking off ramps all the time.
Yeah, we own dirt tracks.
Yeah, so we're going to try our best to kind of stay semi-straightforward here. But, we're going to cover things like, social media today. Of course, me and Maddie were around when social media was kind of getting started. And
kind
of some of the
differences. From where it began when we were younger. Of course, you remember Facebook when we first started.
Even go... So let's jump right into it. So let's start with Facebook. And actually, before
I want to go before Facebook.
Okay, so let's go before Facebook. What you got?
Do you remember, like back in high school, your main way of there was one that had it was on Hotmail. It was like MSN Messenger.
Yep, or AOL Messenger. That was
Yahoo Messenger.
Yep.
Like Yahoo Messenger was a thing that I remember at times that I would have 16 little windows in my computer because you had to be on your computer to do it. texting back and forth. And that was your form of text message before phones came out.
Oh yeah, it was like come home, and we
phone.
didn't have the internet at home. Just because my parents were like no. So like when I got to college, AOL was big because you'd be talking back and forth. Of course, like chat rooms were a big thing. If you remember chat rooms,
I do.
So yeah, so I think probably the first.
There would be so many forums right now that aren't available anymore. That
oh yeah, I think like so if you had chat rooms back in the day, I would say today you have forums.
Okay.
If you had like AOL or Yahoo Messenger back in the day, I would equate that a little more today to like a Snapchat. That'd be like your newer version of that.
Yeah.
Of course, Snapchat being a little bit smarter because it deletes right away, so a little bit smarter there. But so the first big one I remember was, of course, MySpace. That was the first
I was gonna say,
really publicly used.
And I never had MySpace, so I never used it. I didn't
and that was very much music oriented. Like you'd have music you liked on your main page. You could have like 8 friends on your top 8, and it was this big thing competition. You had Tom. He was your first friend on MySpace, but that was the first big one. Which of course it didn't. And once Facebook came out, Facebook, the Titan, and a lot of people that I know, yourself included, are like, well, I remember when Facebook came out and stuff like that.
We actually had to be on a computer to use it.
Well, and before that though, so you may not know this. So if you've ever seen the movie The Social Network, really good movie with Jesse Eisenberg in it. Really, really good. Talks about the beginnings of Facebook, how Facebook came to be. A little bit long-winded, but really good. You had to have the whole thing of Facebook was like Ivy League exclusivity, and then it became like a college thing. So you had to have a college email address. Like you had to be a college student, more or less, to be on Facebook.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I've seen part of that.
So when Facebook first really launched, I was living in Ames, Iowa, and had 3 roommates. All 3 went to Iowa State. I was a few years older than them, which was not a big deal, but we had in our basement, the basement was our bar. And we called it the clubhouse, and Joe that built the bar, he was a big Cubs fan. And so it was like Cubs cards all over the front of this bar. We had the back of the wall was partial brick. We bought fake ivy and put it along the wall. We painted a yellow line. We put AstroTurf down for the field. We put some fake wood flooring down a little section for Navy Pier. We put some blue AstroTurf down to Lake Michigan.
Nice.
I mean, and we threw some parties. But to get those parties going, we used Facebook. So my roommate Chris at the time said, "Hey, let's get you hooked up on Facebook." So apparently they could have a couple extra emails. So I actually was Cohawk at iastate.edu. I had an Iowa State email address. So even though I didn't go to Iowa State, I was actually on Facebook before most of the people I know were on it, because you had to have that email. It wasn't until several years later that Facebook turned into what it is now, and it's not near as fun as it used to be.
Multiple social conglomerate network.
When Facebook really first went public, what I really enjoyed about it was I was able to reconnect with a lot of people that that was my favorite part. And then for me, as it moved forward, it was continuing that, and then as I started doing different things, like whether it was doing when I was doing like radio stuff with Red Hot Brian Scott and stuff like that, and meeting people that way, I was connecting with people there and different jobs and things like that. And through, of course, through now with podcasts and things like that. I mean, I go into my Facebook. I've got my Facebook. I'm attached to this podcast Facebook page. I'm attached to the Frontier Games Facebook page. I'm attached to Clinton Harley Davidson Facebook page. I'm attached to multiple Facebook pages now. That's the thing.
You're a social butterfly.
Apparently. So that's, I mean, it's so much different. Like back in the day, it was just like, okay, we're having a party. It was hit the invite, and then let's invite all the hot chicks you see on Facebook to this party. And that's what you did. That's what Facebook was. It was all about just hooking up, more or less. Just getting people to hang out, whatever. Social media. Now it's like social vomit.
Yeah, well, it still follows it. it still follows that decree to a certain.
Yeah, and compared to what it was to what it is now, it's very. Now it's one of those where people get on there and want to voice their opinion because they feel they have the right to voice their opinion.
They can just, you can network with people you don't really know. And so many people have become Facebook warriors. And one of my favorite things of Facebook, you can't really do it on Instagram or Snapchat because they say they're wrong, but Facebook is one of my favorite things, and I love to watch it. I love to read them, don't get me wrong. It's a form of entertainment for me to read. Arguments that go along on Facebook. And one of my favorite things is, you don't ever start an argument on Facebook.
No.
Because people have time to sit there and think about what they want to type or research what they want to research so they sound smarter than they do. If I want to have a debate with you, if I want to argue with you, I want you to do it face-to-face with me.
Oh, yeah.
So we can do this. You don't get time to think. I don't get time to think. You're going to tell me what you think. I'm going to tell you what I think. I don't want to argue with you. It's more along the debate. If it's going to be an argument, more and where it's going to lead. But that's one of my favorite things to do. Don't ever argue with people on Facebook because it's going to lead nowhere.
Yeah.
And it's going to invite people in that have no business being in that conversation, giving you their form of opinion, which has no balance to whatever you're talking about. It's just them trying to form their own headway into that. And it's just shut up.
Yeah. Well, and of course, the flip side of that is, then people feel like, well, I can post whatever I want on Facebook. But then if you post something on their post that they don't like, then I say, well, how dare you? What are you doing? This is public.
Yeah.
This is public forum, people. Well, I think a lot of people, and it's not as bad now. I think now it's more the keyboard warrior, where 5-10 years ago, gosh, we are getting old. 5-10 years ago, it was well, I'm going to share my opinion. But then if you didn't like it, it was why don't you like my opinion? Wait a minute. No, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, you're correct.
You put it in a public space.
It's still that.
You've opened your way. Yeah, but not, it's lead more towards.
No, it's still that way.
If there was a barometer, it'd be one way is keyboard warrior, the other way is,
no, now you combine them both. Yeah. Because I said, now you can share your opinion. But if somebody has a different opinion, you get to be the keyboard warrior and fire back that how dare you think like that. It's like this, no. This is where I love it. And I have so many friends on Facebook that are the complete opposite. And you were one of them. And I love that about most of the friends that I have on Facebook because we tend not to get involved in that type of argument because
we understand that it's social media.
But I love people that's like this. I understand you're voicing your opinion, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying you think one way, I think the other. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are allowed in this world to differ opinions and still be able to get along.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you start to hate on me because of what I think, then I'm going to start to go toward the defensive side. Of course, it's like this. It's like, wait a minute, I'm not blaming you for thinking how you think. I'm saying I think differently, and I'm explaining myself, and you're explaining yourself, and okay, we can part as friends and shake hands and do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start calling me names, or you start telling me that I'm wrong because I think this, and I should do this, and I should do that, well, okay, now I don't want to argue with you over the keyboard. I want you to meet me face to face.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Yeah.
Let's have a conversation. Because
Absolutely.
if you want to talk that big and in front of a keyboard, well, I want you to talk that big in front of my face.
Oh yeah.
Let's have that conversation because again, we're not going to go there unless you don't want to. But if you have, how do you say this? If you have the balls to say what you want to a computer screen or to a Facebook or to a phone,
they don't.
Then I want you to have that to be able to say that to my face and accept. But not only have the balls to say that, but have the balls to be a man or a woman and
back it up.
Accept that.
Yeah.
Somebody thinks differently than you do.
Yep.
That doesn't mean you're wrong. That doesn't mean I'm right. That doesn't mean I'm wrong or that I'm right and you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, somebody thinks differently.
Yes.
That's okay.
Agreed.
That is completely fine. People nowadays don't seem to think like that. And Facebook is a way that is garnered for them to be able to get their opinion out and
to the
tell
masses.
other people and wait for 900 other people that they have following them on Facebook to get behind them and say, he's right, you're wrong, or she's right, you're wrong. It's like, whoa, this was a one-on-one conversation.
Yep.
Why do I have 900 million people attacking me or 100 people attacking me? Well, I'm just trying to defend my point of view. When you get to do that,
that's
we
why
don't always have to be that way.
if I'm ever gonna put something like that on Facebook, I tend to not type it. Like that's where I think the beauty of Facebook Live comes in. Is Facebook Live is a wonderful, wonderful thing that I've really over the last probably 2 years really kind of got a grasp on. It has so many uses, like like when I was laid off with COVID, when COVID was really hot, when it really first started, I was using it, every other day to just have a way to connect with people. I'd hop on, I'd be sitting outside, I'd be whatever, hey, who we got? And I'd be on there for a half hour just checking in with people.
And that's one of the reasons that as I've stated before, that I started this podcast is because I liked where you were going, I liked what you were doing, and I selfishly wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah.
I said, I think we have a lot of content that doesn't make social media or that doesn't make it out to the people that it could make it out to, especially that can make a difference, like our second episode did to, certain people that
I don't even think we've really...
I don't think we've cracked the start.
I don't think we have. I think we're just in like warm-up mode. Of course, going from the video back to the audio. I think that's for us to garner those skills. I think that's huge. But
as much as I love you, I'm going to tell you that I want you to understand what you just said and take it into effect every time you make a video. Because the last video that I saw you make, when you begin a video with, okay, I'm going to piss people off and I don't care. You're going to the same end of end of the spectrum that you don't want to go to. That the other person, that I know why you went there.
Oh yeah.
And I know why you went there, but you're going to the same spot, just from the other end of the spectrum that you did. Now,
usually when I do those, like I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm causing, and those, if you ever noticed, those videos don't stay up.
I know.
I put those up more or less, and that's more. I think that's more.
I don't ever want you to put a video up that you have to take down.
I take it down because I think the point gets across. I get the point there, and then you get to the point where it's okay.
But you shouldn't have to make that point. It's okay to feel that way.
Oh yeah.
But you don't have to make that point, because who are you appeasing to that point?
Myself.
No, you're not.
Yes.
You're going on.
I felt amazing after that video.
Yeah, of course you did.
My wife felt amazing after that video.
How much did you have to drink?
Not that much that day. That's the best part.
Anyway, trust me, I found out the reason, and I missed that point. But I'm like this: you're doing the exact same thing that he's doing.
But I learned a really valuable tool that day.
I can't wait.
Unfriend.
Well, no, it doesn't need to be unfriended.
No. Here's my thing. My point is this:
who unfriended? Did you unfriend somebody, or did I you?
No, I did. Because I'm like, you know what?
Was it that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, but it's that like for months and months and months and months.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that.
It's to the point now where it's like, you know what? I know when that stuff gets posted, I'm not really friends with them in real life.
But this is where I'm saying you don't have to do that, because all the backlash from your video and all of the comments from your video, and I heard all about it, and it was like, just did you see? And I had to go look up what happened.
I'm curious after we're done recording to hear this story.
To see the reason behind that video. And this was like this. You don't have to do that. Like, if you just unfollow them on Facebook.
That's what I'm saying.
Because like this, I literally, in order to see the content that he or she posts, I have to physically go look up their page and see that. It's like this.
I don't even want that.
I don't want to unfriend anybody because of how you think. If you think that, that's fine. But I'm not going to be that person that unfriends you because I don't agree with what you think.
Yeah, unfriend or unfollow.
I will unfollow you so I don't see it on a regular basis. If you tend to think like that, that's okay. You're allowed to think like that. You're a grown person.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have your opinion. You're allowed to think how you want. This is America. It's a free country.
Mm-hmm.
Please never, ever think you have to think this way of somebody else. You are a grown person who is allowed to have an opinion and allowed to think like an adult. If you think like an adult, if you want to voice that opinion, that's fine. But you don't make other people feel guilty for not feeling the way you feel.
Agreed.
That's the problem that I have with the content from said person's page.
Well, and I
don't want you. You can't do that because you're going to create a controversy that doesn't need to be created. And the more you do that, the bigger divide you're creating in not only the society, but in your own town, in your own community.
Absolutely.
It's like, this is the problem. When you talk about race, when you talk about hate, when you talk about everything, the more you talk about it, the more it creates it. Is there always going to be it? Unfortunately, probably so.
Absolutely.
Is there a way to get rid of it? Stop thinking that way. And stop voicing it that way. Just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Is that ever going to get rid of it? No. Sadly, God, no.
Stop focusing on it.
It will always be there, unfortunately. But in order to change the narrative and change the divide in this country, you have to be able to overcome that narrative and stop talking about it. Focus on the good. Focus on the not talking about race, not talking about hate, not talking about anything that makes this divide even bigger, and come together as a community rather than channeling your opinion or your everything into, this is how I feel, this is how it should be. Granted, you may think that, but not everybody else is going to agree with you. So focus on, I think like that, that's okay. But don't try to make other people feel guilty for feeling the same, for feeling different. Yeah. That's the problem.
And I think ultimately, where 99% of the time, I think unfollow would be.
Unfollow is huge. I probably have a lot of friends on Facebook and I don't follow.
This was one of those situations where it's like, you know what, it's never been, it's just, you know what, it's not going to get better. There's never going to be anything there for me to latch onto positively. So I'm like, I'm just gonna.
No, because without saying,
moving on.
So I want to say my birthday.
Yeah. So anyway,
but they're always going to be that way.
Exactly. That's all.
There are people that you can't change.
But that's a great thing about social media. You can just say, done.
Yeah.
I'm not, because ultimately people aren't talking to you right now. So
I have plenty of friends on Facebook that I don't follow. That the only reason they're still my friends on Facebook is so when their birthday pops up on my Facebook, I can be like this. Hey. Happy birthday.
I do love that.
I wanted to, to be positive, I want to wish you a happy birthday.
Yep.
It's your birthday, and you deserve that. Today's the day you were born.
And I love that day.
I just want to be able to say happy birthday.
I love that day.
That's the last time I'm talking to you. Next year.
I want to hit that. I want at least 100. I want 100. If I hit that 100 mark, I'm like, yeah, that's awesome.
On your birthday?
Yeah. If I get 100 I'm like, oh, whatever. I don't know. I like it. But I think so.
On my birthday, I look for my parents to tell me happy birthday. I look for my kids
I do
to
that
tell me
too.
happy birthday.
I do that
That's
too.
the only people I care about.
I'm just saying, it's fun to see, and I will scroll through on my birthday. I will scroll through every comment just to see who they are, and I'll either I will like every comment, or I'll put a little comment down.
I will try to say thank you to everybody that, but I believe it more.
I do like the mass thank you, like thanks everybody, and then I do.
Yes, and I will always try to do that the next day. But I care more about the actual. If you're saved in my phone. If your phone number is saved in my phone, I don't want a Facebook message. I want a text message that says, happy birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook is just like this. I'm already on here. Happy birthday.
Birthday
text message is like, hey, it's his birthday. Let me get up. Text him happy birthday. This is from me to you. And that's what I will do to everybody that's saved in my phone. I will always wish people on Facebook happy birthday. I try my best to get this. In social media this day, I want everybody to remember that's listening to this. Whether it be you go from a podcast to a Facebook page to an Instagram page to a Snapchat, remember to be an adult. And I guess the one thing that I want to, my biggest lesson in women and men can both do this because, and they can both learn from this. Maggie, I love you. Don't edit this out. Don't be a dick.
Yes.
There's a way to be an adult.
Yeah.
And just be an adult. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to be
I agree.
Shady.
I agree 100%.
You don't have to do anything other than be an adult on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, social media, whatever kind of social media you have, TikTok, I don't care what it is. Don't be a dick. Okay? Be an adult.
Yeah.
People are allowed to think differently. People are allowed to think other things other than what you believe. I have a lot of people that believe differently than me. That's okay. We're still friends.
Yeah.
I still love you to death. I would never wish bad on it upon anybody. There's too much hate in this world nowadays, especially even more when you get into social media. There's just so much hate, so much animosity because people don't feel the same way about you. And it's a way to spew even more, which I think that Don't Be a Dick kind of goes way into that. It's like this, don't spew anymore. The world has enough hate. Don't put any more into it. Okay?
Yeah. So, I
know, I ran it for
well, no, but I think that's the thing. I think that's where Facebook is.
This drives me nuts.
I think that's where Facebook has gone to now. It's gone to this. It creates this type of feeling with people, and people that like, well, I have Like, I think on my Facebook page, my personal page, I think I got 11 or 1,200 friends on there.
Jesus. I don't even
But here's the thing, though. So, like, 95% of them, I can go through.
I gotta look.
And like, I can tell you, like, this, for the most part, this is how I know them. No, I may not communicate with them all the time, and there's a handful of them, like, how am I friends with this person? But for the most part, I mean, because you got to remember, too, with me living in Ames when Facebook came out, and garnering that group of friends, you know.
On Facebook, I have 516 friends.
All right, I got to look up the actual number now. And then we're going to go into other forms.
And I don't even talk to half of you. I still love you all.
Yeah, I just have them on there because I figured...
You are on there for a reason from some time other than I've either met you at some point or I've conversed with you at some point.
Oh, boy.
We are good enough to be...
I was way off.
Friends. Well, I can't wait to hear you.
1,660.
You have like triple the amount that I have.
But, like, I'm looking here, like, it just, my top 6,
and I
right?
think I probably think I have too many.
But, like, my top 6 right here, I can literally look at this, and, you know, here's one of the family I used to know in Gilbert, a guy I know from the Harley shop, guy I knew from high school, dude I know from Old Chicago here in town, let's see what we got here, gal from a bar owner here in town, and a recent friend that whose boyfriend works for a buddy of mine. So, I mean, I know these people. Like, I may not have, like, a close friendship, but, like, I know.
Well, of those
They're good
516,
people,
I guarantee there's probably less than 30 that I see on a, and I want to say this. I mean, not counting family, because family doesn't count.
Oh, yeah.
Other than family, I bet you there's 30 people on there that I see on a yearly basis.
And that's weird because there's a lot of people that would look. Like, there's people that, like, of course, I mean, you heard, I was like, I got like 1,100, 12 people. I knew that. You know, the guys at work always give me a hard time. I see it's 1,600 people. I'm like, geez. But there are people that literally live in their world that, like, this is my life. No.
There's people on my Facebook that it's probably just the only time I do converse with you is when I wish you a happy birthday.
Yeah, and that's
on
okay.
Your birthday. But at some point, whether it be in high school, middle school, after in college, there was some point where we knew each other.
Yes.
And
it's like I said, 95% of the people I have had at least a handful of conversations with. Like, I've met you in person. So, so that's Facebook. Of course, Facebook's the big one. You got to start with the big dog. I think
Instagram's following real quick.
Well, I'm trying to go in order. So Facebook, what would have been the next one? Probably. Well, I mean, there was probably some little ones, but Twitter. Well, I don't either, but I think Twitter was the next one. But there again, I think Twitter was also revolutionary. Because Twitter was the first.
I think worse than Facebook at being keyboard warrior.
Oh, I get. But here's my thing with Twitter. I get I get an email like every other month. Oh, your Twitter is trying to get access. I have access in years.
No, I haven't. I do have a Twitter account.
Yeah,
I haven't.
It keeps getting hacked, whatever. But
for years.
But Twitter was that first one where you could follow or keep tabs on celebrities.
Well,
because Facebook didn't do that till after Twitter did it.
I will say, and I don't keep track of them on Facebook. I do keep track of them, and I will go up because I'm a huge sports nut.
Yeah.
And I like Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, and I follow Colin Cowherd, and I will go on there while like NFL games are live, and I will because they will tweet as the game goes on, and I want to see kind of what they're saying because I like to stay. I'm a huge sports nut, so I like to follow what they're thinking, and I don't ever get to converse with them, but I like, see how they form their opinion, I guess, because I love how some of them, especially Colin, especially
it's cool if they ever like resend or retweet or whatever.
I'm not going to ever send them a message, but I like to see because my biggest thing is on anything when you claim to be objective, you have to take your personal feelings out of it.
Yeah.
And how Skip and Colin always say, well, I have to be objective. Well, you're never objective.
No.
Because you always have your personal feelings involved, whether it be your personal feelings toward a certain player or a certain team. You're never, ever objective. But I still like to follow them to see what they say.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's fun for me. But I don't have a Twitter account, but I can, Google their name and their Twitter will show up with their 5 last recent tweets or whatever, and I can read them.
And then I think, of course, from that, I mean, Twitter was kind of the by word, so you
like
communicating back and forth.
Thing, no.
But then now it's they went to Instagram. So there was the photo Because when Instagram first started, it wasn't a whole lot of words and comments. It was just a photo. And then,
Right. I mean, you can only write so much.
Yeah.
You have to have. I think you still have to have a photo.
Yeah.
To post something.
Yep. So Instagram has then, kind of gone from the, where it's the typed media to the photo media.
Right.
And I have an Instagram account. I've got a few things up there. I've never really truly figured out how it works.
I do. I love my Instagram, and I've linked it to my Facebook. So if I go to post something on my Facebook, I post it through my Instagram.
Yeah.
And, it's on there. It'll post to Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, I think was the other one. But usually it's just a Facebook, where if I post it to my Instagram account, it automatically posts to my Facebook account.
Oh, gotcha.
I just like to do that because I do have friends that have Instagram, they don't have Facebook. Or they have, one or the other, they don't have both. So I always post on one because I can't post on Facebook and it's going to go to Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
But I can post on Instagram. And it's the same photo. Everything's showing up the same, and it's just going to go over there.
And I think Instagram was probably...
I think Instagram Live came well before Facebook.
It might have. But I think the big one that Instagram, for me, will always be known as, that was kind of the beginning of what is now known as the thirst trap. I mean, I was waiting for these models and these women, which, good for you if you make your living that way. That's great.
Well, a lot of people,
that's what they do.
That's their job.
Yeah.
It's an Instagram model.
Yeah. So,
hey,
which is great.
Get paid. How you gonna get paid?
Yeah, whatever. That's great. That's awesome. I love that that people are influencers. I hope my hope always is when you get these YouTube and all this influencers. My only hope I ever have for them is just make sure you understand that whatever your audience you're directing at, you're going to have multiple audiences there. So I hope, like when we do our podcast, we have the understanding, and Maggie always made it apparent when we started, was like, to watch our language. I mean, you and me are very well known to let slip on a extremely regular basis.
No, I curse like a sailor.
I'm even worse than that. and you come from a sailor.
I don't know if you.
I'd probably make a sailor blush.
Can curse worse than
I'm just saying. Could happen.
I guess if you want to talk about a Marine that's in the heat of
that's what I'm talking
battle,
about. There you go.
I'm going to throw out everything. And I've come up with...
And I'm going to scream it. As a Marine, I'm going to scream it. So
yeah, I've come up with some doozies that I'm like...
Yeah.
When I go back, I think about it, I'm like, how'd you do that? Like,
yeah. There's an old comedian. I'm not going to say their name because they got themselves in some trouble, but... a big joke on one of his comedy albums was, my wife has said some things to me in an argument that I've written down.
Yeah.
And that always comes back. It always comes full circle.
Why? I mean,
I just do. I'm not. I'm not
going to endorse what he does as a person, but his comedy was hilarious.
It was, but what he is now, he was doing it. He was doing it then, though. He was doing it then. He was doing it then. His success came from doing that. Yeah.
I'm a huge fan, and of Bill Burr.
I'm still a fan.
I know,
but still a fan, but it's like I'm
Bill
not.
Burr?
Oh yeah,
huge fan.
He's in The Mandalorian.
His comedy's hilarious.
He was in The Mandalorian.
I don't give a fuck what he's in.
Twice.
His comedy was hilarious. He said the same thing. People are gonna say, I'm not watching football because of this. He's like, I'm gonna watch football. If Roger Goodell came on TV and punted a baby across the room, I'm still gonna watch football. I'm not endorsing what he does as a man, as a human.
I just for what he did. Yeah, for what he did. I
get that, and I don't condone anything.
I just like that's my thing.
However, and out of respect for my brother here, I'm not going to say your name either.
I think we all know who we're talking about.
But his comedy, and I still listen to this day.
Oh yeah,
was hilarious.
I still watch the show.
What he did on stage was great.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Who you are, who you became, what you did as a person. Deplorable. Yeah. Absolutely deplorable.
Yeah.
But your comedy?
Amazing.
I can't.
Grew up on it.
Can't not laugh at it.
I took you out. I brought you into this world. I'm going to take you out. So then you go from that, I think, Instagram to, and of course, we're skipping some of the ones. I think we're hitting the big ones. Of course.
I think you only have to big ones.
I think now, so right now, obviously, the new kid to the block really is TikTok.
And that's blowing up.
And let me tell you, I think,
like a napalm.
I think that's probably the worst. But I love TikTok. I have a TikTok account. I posted videos on it.
I do have a TikTok account. But I've never posted videos.
I was actually mentioned by a creator in their live the other day. So commented on one of the things. Yeah, I got a notification that so and so is live and mentioned you on their live.
Nice.
And I hopped over, and he's like, and he had the name right. It was awesome. But the only issue I have with TikTok is it's so fast. It's like, well, Vine used to be the same way. It's 6-second video.
Oh, I do remember those.
Yeah, so it's just a longer version of that. But kids today already have the attention span of
a squirrel.
If that. And this is just one of those, and I find myself in that trap where, like, I'll be, especially last week or so, I'll be sitting there just watching, and I'm like, okay, next. But at the same time, and there's some stuff on there, of course you're watching, okay, that girl's hot, she got a nice butt, I'm going to watch. Of course you have those on there. But there's also some stuff on there that's hilarious. Like, there's the girl from Canada, they call me Chris. She's hilarious. She's like 11 million followers or something. She's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, the guy from Taco that does TED Talk.
Yep. Do you Taco?
I showed you.
Yeah.
I don't even know his name, but he called out. Apparently, there's a guy named it's at Scotty something.
No.
Who his TikTok profile is a picture of Jesus, but he had the long red hair, of course, and the red beard.
Oh yeah.
And then I showed you that video with the guy with the red beard and the long red hair that came out, and that guy talking about that, and he's like. He called him out like, "Hey, Scotty, come get your brother. He's killing the game."
And
that's what he's referring to. It's hilarious.
And that's probably my favorite part of TikTok. I
won't say that. My favorite part, and I'll let you go. And then
I'm curious.
My favorite part is people like if you haven't, trust me, you're gonna get anything on TikTok, and the more you like and the more you follow, the more you're going to get that type of content on your TikTok. But my favorite thing to follow.
Before you go there, let me ask you this: when you go on to TikTok, are you on the For You page or are you on the following page?
The For You page.
I'm a 50-50.
Well,
because if I follow somebody, I like their stuff.
I will tell you that there's two people that I've followed that especially says in their link in their bio to follow their Instagram account, and I follow two people. One, her name is Becca. She's 35-year-old mother of three, divorced mother of three that's living in North Carolina who went through whatever kind of divorce, and not that Andrew and I have that type of relationship, but we did at one point in time, and now we have that better relationship, but she doesn't, and she's, to be nice, she's very nice to look at, but she's also a very positive person in her message, and she puts it out there like, hey, this is how I react to everything, this is how everything happens, and what goes along. The second person that I followed, if you follow him, he does a lot of great videos. The one video that hooked me was the video in which he had a video with his 14-year-old daughter, and it was like this. She bet me that I couldn't make her laugh, and the video, I died laughing at it. And he made her laugh. Kevin Lawson, he's awesome at what he does, but he's very, very faith-oriented. He gives you talks like, if you're in the middle of season, and don't be worried, God's not done with you. He has plans for you. You're still alive. You still have plans. He's that type of guy. He's my favorite person to follow on TikTok. That's the type of TikTok that I love. And I switch over to my following page to catch his videos, but I follow him on Instagram also, so I can catch his videos on Instagram, because that's the type of stuff that the way he talks. And there's another guy that I follow that does the same thing. Those are the type of videos that I love to.
Yeah, I think the nice thing about TikTok is for the most part it's uplifting.
You can get whatever you want on TikTok.
Like, it's more fun. Like, if I'm flipping through Facebook anymore, it's okay. Ad, video I can't watch anyway. You're seeing something that pisses me off. This is annoying. This is dumb. Blah 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 blah. And you go to TikTok, it's just like, oh, this okay, cool. You're doing this. Oh, this is funny. Or okay, you're doing.
Funny. I mean, you get voiceovers from comedians that you've seen.
I love those.
Kevin Hart's voiceovers kill me.
My favorite, I think, to go back to mine, my favorite part of TikTok is got to be the duet. So
you get a lot of those, and I love them.
I really love them when it's like you've got, like a person like me, just regular Joe Schmo, just posting on TikTok, and you're maybe referencing somebody famous, a creator, and they hop on there and they're reacting to the reaction videos. I love those. Those are just like they're taking the time to do that. I love that.
Yeah, and the fact and to watch their, especially their comedians. Like I said, I haven't seen Kevin Hart do one yet, but I've seen other celebrities.
The Jeff Dunham ones
to their own videos, and it's hilarious to watch. Like I said, voiceovers kill me. A lot of the things that they're like, my son has a TikTok page. My 9-year-old has a TikTok account, but I think my 14-year-old has a TikTok account too. And when he's laying in his bedroom, and I'm in the kitchen, and he sends me a TikTok video of like this is you. That's
that one you showed me earlier?
You've seen the video.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Of that type of father who I am. Like, don't waste my water. Don't wash my dish.
We need
That's me being my father's son and acting that way towards my son. He gets a kick out of it so much that he can send me that video.
We need to send that to Maggie privately for her to okay it. And then post that on our Facebook page.
That literally is. I'll send it to Maggie.
Yeah.
So that is literally me. I do it, and I remember watching that video in my kitchen as my son is 20 feet away from me.
I think you need to duet that video.
I was dying.
I think you need to duet that video.
I don't have that type of acting.
And then, you just watch it.
I can't now. But I do love. That's another thing. TikTok. The blind reaction. When somebody sends me a video and you have to blind react, I would die.
You can still just duet it. You can still watch it.
I was watching that video dying laughing. And I walked into his bedroom and I literally looked at him and I said, I would beat your ass right now. If that wasn't so freaking true, I would kill you. But I couldn't stop laughing at it.
That's good.
And he's looking at me like, that's you. That's you all day. And I'm like, yes, I guilty as charged.
So ultimately, social media can have some pluses. So
it does. It has a lot more negative.
It does anymore.
It has a lot more negative. You look at the negative.
I think people are focused on finding the negative more than seeing the positive.
I think you have to treat social media the way
media.
I think you have to treat social media the way you treat anything else in life.
Yeah, just
as you are as a person. It depends on who you are as to what you're going to find out of it.
Yeah.
If you are a positive person and you look to the positive, you'll find the positive. If you're a negative person looking to bring down somebody else or looking to just pile extra things on yourself, you're going to find the negative.
Yeah.
I think more people need to look to the positive and find the positive in everything in life.
So if you're looking,
you need to find the uplifting parts of every part of your life. If you think positive things will happen.
Mm-hmm.
As Will Smith once told me in a movie, I believe it was Will Smith. I won't say it for sure. Positivity breeds positivity. Negativity breeds negativity. If you think positive, positive things will happen. If you think negative, negative things will happen. Always think to the positive. Always look for the bright side, the silver lining, and everything you can find. Because yes, there is probably a negative in everything that happens to you. There is probably a positive in everything that happens to you. But the positive thing in life that always happens to you is that if you woke up today, God ain't done with you. You're awake for a reason. You have a purpose in life. Find it. Make somebody else's life more purposeful than yours. Make it brighter. Make it sunnier. Be positive. Stop being negative. Social media will bring out the worst in people. But it can also bring out the best in people if you allow it to. Always think positive. Because I'm pretty sure if you're breathing, there's a positive outlook in life. Find it. Use it.
Boom.
I love you all. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
for allowing me to rant for I don't know how long.
That's okay. I don't think there's a better way to sum this one up. So, as always, as we get to the end of our weekly podcast,
I just cracked like a man. Every bone in my body.
That happens. So we got to go back to the Hoppin' Frog Cranberry Turbo Shandy Citrus Ale.
I'll give you a 5 out of it.
You a 5 out of it?
That was not bad. I maybe even give you a 6. That was pretty tasty.
Yeah. You would
I like
drink it
that.
again.
I'm
You
not
might not buy it, but you would drink it
I'm
again.
not a fruity person, but I kind of like fruit when you add it to my beer.
I mean, listen, if I said, hey, I have another one in the fridge, you'd probably drink it.
I would. I think this was.
I have good news. I have another one in the fridge.
Well, all right. I have it.
So,
There you go. If you want to serve.
On that note, guys, thank you as always for listening. This concludes the Double BS Podcast Weekly installment. As always, we enjoy the heck out of it. We love seeing you guys. We love hearing you guys. So,
You know where I'm going.
I know where you're going. I almost want to be like, well, you got that beautiful rant. I'm just gonna let you go again. So I'm gonna turn over the important parts of this. Before I do, make sure you're commenting on these videos. We want to hear what you want to hear content-wise. We want your reactions to what we're putting up here. We want your opinions on it. Because ultimately, we're just kind of in the.
We want comments on because I'm pretty sure, and I love you, Petey. We're running out of ideas.
Oh, absolutely not.
We could talk all day.
I'm gonna tell Matt to zip it right now.
But I feel like people want to hear.
I would love to hear it too. I think ultimately we're just kind of petting the top of the grass, really. I mean, we're not even into the dirt.
Well, I mean, in terms of our own conversations, yes. Yeah. But I would love to hear what these viewers want to hear. Yeah. And trust me, I'm waiting, and I'm gnawing at the bit to get to video format to where we can have live guests on here to where we can get other people's opinions.
So let me ask you this:
that comment back and forth going.
I got to ask you this. So if people wanted to hear what we're talking about and comment on what we're talking about, and tell us what they want to hear. How would they do that? That was awesome.
I thought you were going into something big, and you were literally asking me to say my line. What's rude as hell? Well, as you all know, YouTube, Facebook, Buzzsprout, iTunes, Spotify, we are available on all of those. We love the comment section. We love the like button. We love the notification button. More in tune. We would like you to love that like button, that notification button, that subscribe button, that comment button. We would love to hear more about that. We would love to delve more into the video format. We would love to hear more about what you want to hear about, what you want to talk about. Take my last comments into heart. Anything in this world can bring you down. Anything in this world can bring you up. Okay? There's always a silver lining. There's always a cloud to look at. Like, you know, it's trying to bring out the best in you. We love you all. We want you to look on the bright side. We want you to always think positive and try to bring out the positive in other people. So
yeah, I think that's our whole point. I think the whole point of this is where this started was positivity. So and
always remember that nobody, especially everybody out there listening, that nobody is ever alone. There's always somebody to listen to your problems. There's always somebody to listen to you and to hear what you have to say. So don't ever think that anybody's ever alone. When I say that there's somebody in here out there loves you. We love you to death.
We love you, yeah.
We would love to hear from you. And if you ever have a problem, please, you can find me. I'll talk to you all day.
Yep.
If I have to be the bright spot in your day, if Pete has to be the bright spot in your day, we will gladly do so.
If we're the bright spot in your day.
Hey, we are that positive of people. However,
we are a little bit.
We want you to always think on the positive. So, please, if you're breathing today,
you made it.
You got a purpose.
That's right.
Get out there and use it to the best of your ability. And don't ever forget, we love you to death. We want you to continue to support us, and we will continue to support you.
Yep.
No matter what we have to do.
We continue to look forward to your watching our episodes Friday mornings at 10 a.m. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird not having Maggie here.
It's not. It's very weird.
But that's okay.
It's very weird. We hope you're feeling better.
We
love you to death.
Our final toast on this episode will be to Miss Maggie. So cheers, Maddie. Till next time.
My brother.
We'll do it again.
Love you.
Cheers. And we're out.
I love you.